Hey, good morning, everybody. Look at you all. You all made it. It's good to have you all here. It feels like it has been so long, and so we are glad that most of you could be here. There's a handfuls of each of you. We'll do things a little bit differently. So mid-school girls today, if you're a mid-school girl, we're just going to do one group because I think there's 2, 4, 6 of you total. So we'll just do that, and then mid-school guys. How many mid-school guys do we have? Raise your hand if mid-school boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, we'll figure it out. We might split that into 2 groups. We'll see what we got. And then we'll just do like a high school guy group and a high school girl group. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. That'll work. Hey, we only have a couple of quick announcements, just 2 things. So we are kind of starting things back up, but this Wednesday, Grain Valley, when do you guys go back? Tomorrow. You go back tomorrow? When does Blue Springs go back? Okay, that's why. So this Wednesday is typically would be our Exodus XL because it's the first Wednesday of the month, but is not going to be this Wednesday. We're not having it this week. What we are doing, though, and this is important, I want to make sure we understand that this isn't like, oh, well, that's not for me type of thing. What we are going to do is the first Wednesday of each month, they do a thing called Apex up in the worship center, and it's kind of like they do some worship, a little bit of teaching, and some time of prayer, and just kind of pray about some of the stuff coming up that month. This month, what we are going to do is all church will be combined, and we will all be up there at 6:30. So if you still come at 6 o'clock, whatever, we'll all still be down here hanging out, doing our normal thing in the gym. Concession stuff will be open if I remember to go buy some more candy. And then at 6:30, we will all go upstairs together to the worship center. We're going to do some worship and some things up there. I'll be kind of leading it out. So it's kind of a mixture of what we'll do down here, but then we'll also be up there with other adults. And so we're going to be focusing on like our upcoming school year, our semester 2022, celebrating some of the good things that have happened in the past and kind of praying and looking forward to some of the amazing things coming up like Refuel Weekend. And so let's, which hopefully we should be able to start having like signups and stuff for that. We have our speaker, we're still working on our band, and we're still going back and forth on what host homes are going to look like. So don't ask me yet about host homes because 2 weeks ago, there wasn't a new strand of a virus going on. And so right now, I'm just trying to figure out what we're going to do. But we do have Refuel Weekend. It will be the first weekend of March. It will be an amazing time. And so all that stuff's coming up. So this Wednesday night, though, go ahead and come on out. Join us. Be a part. We'll be up there for a little while, and I think I'm going to try to get something. We'll have some food or something afterwards. We should be done at 7:30, and so we can hang out and do our normal thing down here again until you guys take off at 8 o'clock. So, that always leaves out the younger ones. So we'll have some fun. So join us. Just because you see like it's not a normal Exodus, don't think, well, I don't need to go to that. We want all of you guys here. I'm going to be inviting your parents to join us. We want it to be a night where we're saying, hey, this coming semester, last semester was awesome. This semester is going to be even better. So everybody join us for that. I don't have any more announcements. You don't have anything? Are we really going to start out 2022 without it? Shame on you. He's making one up. Uh-oh. Hey! Come on, man. Will, why were you not going to say that one? That was a good one, Will. That was a good one. You need a microphone, though, but Lee still hasn't given us back our other microphones. We only got one. That is, man, I feel like we're missing an announcement. Life group stuff. High school, we will start up our Focus Life group stuff next Sunday. We'll be back on. At where? Probably. Are you sure? Okay. At the Crams house next Sunday. Crams. It's very confusing, I know. At what time? 6 o'clock. High school, 6 o'clock. Crams. crams. Six. All right. So that's everything, guys. I want to do a real quick game just because I already had it, and it actually ended up working perfect for what we're talking about today. And we got to get rid of a bunch of this junk. So I got to get rid of some of this. It's not so, yeah, some of this amazing prizes of chocolate and candy. We have a ton of chocolate bars left. So because we had s'mores, and I just start buying stuff when I go do the shopping. Why don't you eat more s'mores? I don't know how long these go. Because I want to give them away, Carson. That's why. All right, this is going to be a little memory game that I've never done before, but we'll see how it goes. And I don't know if there's audio to this or not, Shane, so check that audio on that. Christmas pop-up. Is there an instruction slide? All right, watch the video closely. Memorize as many things as possible. Answer the questions correctly. So why don't we do this? Let's do high school girls versus high school guys versus mid-school girls versus mid-school guys. Well, they can do together. So you can help answer. You guys can collaborate with each other. Anybody? All right, be ready for this. Here we go. I'm going to show the video. You got to watch the video for a certain amount of time on the screens. Try to memorize as much as you can. And then we'll answer some questions correctly. Are you ready, Will? And Shane, like I said, I don't know if there's audio or not, so just be ready for audio. You guys ready? Let's go to number 1. Let's start it up. Watch the video. This is it. Memorize what you see. Count things. Was that the intro, or was that the first one? Okay, that was the first one. You're supposed to be paying attention to everything on that video. And now, Will, are there questions that go along with this? I'm going to start with high school girls. We'll get the first question for them. Is there multiple questions for each video? Okay, that's what I thought. Go for it. Which item made the first appearance? High school girls only. If you don't get it, mid-school boys go for the steal. You got 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They say A. Is it A? It is A. Congratulations. There you go, Carson. Have some chocolate. All right, what's our next question? This is going to go to high school guys. High school guys. How many Christmas stockings were shown in the video? A, B, C, or D? 1, 2, 3, or 4? We're going to go B as in Bravo. Is B correct? It is correct. Good job, gentlemen. Good job. What's our next one? Well, this is going to be mid-school girls. Mid-school girls. Here we go. Which of these was the actual tree topper? An angel, a hat, Rudolph? Is that how you spell Rudolph? Rudolph. It's the German version. Rudolph. Or a star. Which one was? Any mid-school girls want to take a guess? A? Are you guys good with that? Yeah, why not? Is it A? It's not A. Mid-school boys for the seal. What do you got? Is it B? No. Back up to high school girls. D. All right. Hey, way to go. Make sure you're sharing that. All right. Is there another question for mid-school boys? All right, mid-school boys. Let's go. What do you got? What shades of color were shown on the mountains? Purple, blue, yellow, greens. What shades of blue? Race thinks he knows it. Race, what do you got? B, blues. That is correct. That is correct. All right, let's do another video I know, but everybody answered that one. So let's go to the next one. Do what? Shades of blues. It says shades. All right, first one goes to Carson. She's going to answer this one. All right, what is it? What's our first question, Will? First question is true or false? All 3 pop-up houses had a chimney on top. True or false, Carson? False. No! Mid-school girls for the steal. The answer is, they say true. Girls, catch this. You guys can share that. High school guys get the next question. What's the question for high school boys? How many trees popped up on the card's surface? A, B, C, or D? They're going A's and alpha. Strong answer, though. No, that is incorrect. Mid-school boys for the steal. B. That's correct. Good job. Good job. Next question will be for mid-school girls. Mid-school girls get the next question. Let's go. What color were the mittens that held the card at the beginning, ladies? What do you think it is? They say D. You say D? D as in dog. Dog. D? That is correct. Hey, you guys open all those when you get back to your group. Not right now, because they want to share one. All right. I know. There you go. Well, since you're up here and there, don't open those yet, though. All right. Who gets the next one? Mid-school boys? Yeah, right? They haven't. No, they got the steal because Carson got it wrong. Now it's boys' turn. All right, boys, this question is, which house had a polka dot front door, A, B, or C? Only 3 choices, boys. What do you got? All right, Macias, what do you think? He says C. Is it C, Will? No, it is not C. It is not C. High school girls for the steal? A? A! Mid-school girls for the final. What? They say B. That is correct. All we got is these big ones left. All right. Do we got one more question? All right, one more question. This one will be for high school guys, right? No, that was you. You guys just lost that one. From who? Oh, I was going to give it to you, and then you threw stuff back at me. High school girls get one. Well, let's just do one more video, and then we'll call it. Let's do one more video, because everybody got a chance to answer. Huh? All right, girls, one more question for high school girls. What do you got? No, high school girls. What kind of hat was the snowman wearing? A, B, C, or D? High school girls. They say D. No, high school guys. 5, 4. A. No. Mid-school boys. B. C. It is C. All right, C it is. Take these. Let's get rid of those. All right. Is that our last one? That was it? That was it? All right, that was it. Hey, we are starting. Just trying to get that scooted over there. Tossing those over. I don't want to sell anything in here. Here we go. Hey, we're starting a new series called Counterfeit, so watch this video, and then Dwayne's going to come up teach, and we'll break off into our high school, mid-school groups right after that. So let's do a video, and then come on up, Dwayne.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year, by the way. It's a good time to start a new series, new year, new series. This one, as you can see, it's called Counterfeit. If you look up in Webster, a definition of it could be imitation or insincere. So, like, what is that? And then also, if you look into the actual Latin root of it, it's kind of 2 words together. Contra and facere. So basically, if you took the definition of those, it's basically the opposite of doing. So if you think about counterfeit, it's something that's an imitation or the opposite of actually doing something real or whatever. So why are we talking about counterfeit in church? Usually we think about counterfeit, it's money or something like that, or maybe a fancy bag or whatever. But you can actually be kind of counterfeit with our faith. And in this series, we're going to kind of look at that and to try and come up with how faith can be more our own. So what does counterfeit faith look like? So it could be using church words a lot, but not really knowing what they mean, or believing something just because your parents or your grandparents believe something, or being one person here and another person outside of here. It's all kind of counterfeit. But in this series, we're going to look at how we can go from hearing about something to living out something, going from hearing to doing. And during this, nobody wants you to be better in your faith than God does. So we actually have a helper. And the verses that we're going to look at today is from, you probably heard it before, it's called Sermon on the Mount. It's where Jesus was talking and teaching to a bunch of people. One we're going to look at is actually in Matthew 7, starting in verse 24. So it says, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on a rock." So there's a couple things here. He ties two things together. Hear and put them into practice. So they're connected. He goes on to say something in the next part where he says that if the rain came, so why? If the rain come and the streams rise and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation built on a rock. Everyone's probably seen videos of like a house that may be built on a hill and there's dirt under it, and then the heavy rains come, house can slide away. If it's built on something solid, it's not as apt to do that. So why does that matter to us? It's what we're founded on and what our base is. You know, when rain is kind of an analogy for other things that come into our lives. So we're much better at handling things if we actually know and do what Jesus taught. He also talks about the opposite, kind of my illustration. He says, "But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand." Same kind of thing as like building it on a hill. If you see like pictures or video of the aftermath of a hurricane, like those, anything along the coast or whatever, there's not a lot, there's built on sand. The wind and the waves kind of just wash it away, and it's like there was never a house there. So his point is that we need to be wise about what we build on, what we build or put our life upon. He goes on, and this is kind of a cool thing. He goes on then in James, who was the brother of Jesus, talks about knowing and doing a lot. There's a lot of wisdom in James. I'd encourage everyone to take a look if you haven't. But there in chapter 1, starting in verse 22, he says, "But don't just listen to God's word. You must do what it says. Otherwise, you're only fooling yourself." Well, what does that mean? Basically lying to yourself. I'm going to go on farther. It says, For if you listen to the word and don't obey it, it's like looking at your face in the mirror. You see yourself, then walk away and forget what you look like. So that was kind of a good tie into our little game there, was like we were looking at something really quick, but then when the image was taken away, we kind of forgot a lot. Remembered some of it, but not all of it. So, this is a new year. We're January 2nd, and a lot of people do this thing called New Year's resolution. I don't know if you guys heard the term before, but it's a time where people say they're going to do something or don't do something for this calendar year. It's like a fresh start, and it's kind of good in church too. Is that I think all of us could probably do something a little better. Some people say they want to eat better or whatever, but in church it's the same thing. We could start doing something that we already know. So what you do know out of here is just put it into practice, and that's kind of what the questions during our small group time are going to be based around, about going from just knowing something to doing something. All right? I'll pray us out, and then we'll break up into those groups. God, thank you for this time and the folks that brave the weather to come out and hang out with their friends and learn a little bit more about you. I just pray that the discussion time is good and helpful, and will help everyone kind of make a fresh start as we go into a new year, new semester, new week at work, and all of those things. And I just pray that we would, have good conversations, and then go out and be a light in a dark world. In Jesus' name, everyone said, amen.